Hello and welcome back to Book Games Spectator. This is going to be a part two of, okay, so you finally made it to Token Trove. In the previous video, we discussed the different tabs to view book games. You say, okay, you finally made it to Token Trove. How do I begin to consume this marketplace and this asset class? And for this guide slash introduction, we're not even touching any of these filters and multipliers right here. We're sticking with the core basics, and we just finished talking about the market tab, and next let's go to the activity tab. Now this is why this channel is called Book Games Spectator. You, like, as a market participant, um, similarly to trading, it's one thing to engage with trading from the perspective of a paper trading account, right? And it's another thing when you're kinetically engaging with the marketplace. So from that perspective, it does change my ability to speculate as a book game spectator when I am an active market participant. But at this point in time, I am book games spectating. Now, why I'm pointing that out is a double-edged coin. The first is that, I mean, come on now, like book game spectating in and of itself is highly entertaining just from a technical analysis and an arbitrage perspective, just to know what's out there in the marketplace and kind of what's going on and kind of getting a tap on how people are viewing it. But also as a person who's just spectating, to the extent that I am in the game as a market participant versus to the extent that I'm not in the game as a market participant. I have been ever since the Great Book Game sell-off of 2022. I think one of the first ones. I really haven't been on this side of the blockchain markets, especially involving NFTs. So now that I find myself in 2024 dipping my toes into the market, um, there book game spectating is definitely a way to engage yourself in terms of taking that step to be a market participant. Because some of the things you see here, it's like, oh my goodness, yo, at a certain point I'm like, yo, I need to stop spectating and I need to start crunching my ratios to find value in the marketplace. But I think content creators nowadays would say, but that's not financial advice, dot dot dot. So let's continue, and we're saying we're in the activity tab. And this is Book Game Spectator because this can give you a really good tap in terms of what's going on. Okay, so we're changing the sort by date. If you change it to name, it'll give you something. It'll kind of give you a relative baseline. Haven't really figured out what it means per se. If you change it to price, it can give you some of the most recent lowest priced items, which kind of gives you a marketplace baseline. This says it's from a week ago. We're seeing some stuff at $37. This was a steal as a book game spectator. Like this right here. Wow. This was a pretty good buy. $37 for a tenacity helps you get there. Okay, where's that? Tenacity. Okay, where is the tenacity? Oh my goodness. There we go. Tenacity helps you get there. We have a tenacity gold. And then wood. Okay, so I mean, yeah, no, definitely this is a good deal in general, but again, you always have to do your ratios to kind of really feel like, I mean, there's such low-hanging fruit that there's so many good deals to really grab. But if you're saying, okay, well, I have specifically $37 to spend, is this the most rare thing that you could possibly acquire based on that capital? So that's kind of the in between where you see really good deals, but when you really crunch the numbers, sometimes you can get even better deals in terms of the actual rarity of the total supply. And that's what makes book games, and that's what makes spectating so enticing. So, okay, activity, sort by. price. And you're going in, you're getting your marketplace feels, you're saying, okay, this is what people are valuing, this is what they're not valuing. We have a kind candor, hollow in black in terms of the frame. Wow, for $84. Wow, 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 wow. And this is so new, you know, I'm just kind of walking you through. It's been a while since I've been spectating, so eventually we'll get down into the nitty gritty. But yeah, $100 for an ambition. Okay, right? Because rainbow, right? So for everything, for all of the whole ambition, right? Ambition is like a secondary. Where is that joint? Right? 7,000. There's only a few with certain ones like that. These are the main juggernauts at the bottom, and then you have the 10,000 categories, 16,000, 12,000, and then you're buttressed up in between your 8,000s, your 7,000s, and then your 6,000s. So in this specific instance where we have an ambition at the highest level, that's a 7,000, and then you have rainbow 3.9, but that 3.9 includes all of the ambition, but that ambition is specifically a gold. So that's interesting. Okay, we have we have a conviction. Wow. There's only 1,395 in total supply. And then we have a caviar, which is 5%. So I mean, this may be valuable because you're like, okay, higher versus lower, but sometimes the weight isn't necessarily the weight of its absolute value, but sometimes you can get a utility with using specific frames over other frames. But that's kind of an internal accounting process. At this point, we're still looking at it from a macro lens. So we're saying, okay, caviar, 5% of the total conviction supply, but it's also a conviction hollow. But this is interesting because, like for these, some of them there's 4,000s versus 1,000, so like the ratio of the category is different. But in this case, there's the same ratio of 279 for the lava version versus the gold versus the bubble versus the diamond versus the hollow. And all of these things kind of go into your accounting mechanisms in terms of how you track and trace their rarity based on the total supply and based on its cost in ETH and cost in denominated dollars. But this is actually crazy. Now, this was a really good steal. That was a really good catch. And this is why we spectate, right? Because I mean, it tells its own tale in terms of um, this as a marketplace, but also this as a opportunity to find value in the marketplace, whether that just be intermediate or long term. So we're scrolling back and we're saying we're in the activity tab and we're sorting by price. But now we can actually sort by sale time. And this is where you can really get mixy to see, okay, well, did somebody snipe some stuff for some really good prices? And this one stands out to me from 23 hours ago. A gratitude is the attitude, right? So on the same level as conviction, except there's only 1,397. That's interesting. We have to hallmark on that, right? So you have your juggernauts, right? Your main boss characters, Koala, Paper Hands Pony, Time Machine Ogre, denotated by their lower supply and them being special characters. And then you have secondary special characters in a manner of speaking, involving the conviction helps you grow, and gratitude is the attitude. And that's differentiated by a stark fall off or demarcation line in between that and the next layer, which is tenacity helps you get there, ambition at the highest level, kind fucking candor, and then kindness over everything is one where I would include that in your next top four after gratitude. So that's how I kind of think about the different demarcation lines in terms of the rarity of the artwork themselves. This section, the special characters, gratitude and conviction, because they have 1,395, and then tenacity, ambition, kind candor, and kindness, and then everything else pretty much after that. So this is part two of, so you finally made it to Token Trove. We're in the activities section, and we changed the sort by from price to sale time. This is crucial because you may or may not like be able to use this in terms of how you are able to actualize or be actionable in the marketplace, but this will definitely give you positive signals, similarly to checking market and sorting by listing time, to kind of snipe different things that have been published recently that you may feel that are not mispriced. Similarly to in the activities section, sale time, you're like, okay, oh, wait, a lot of things are being sold for this specific reason. Maybe you can kind of get a handle on the value in that respect. And I think that wraps up this section. All right. Okay. So what did we learn today? This is part two. We're saying we're in Token Trove as a cybernetic ecology. We're looking at the activity section. We're changing the sort by date to give us a different understanding. One, the price. Who is actually buying and selling these things, and what does their price reflect in the actual underlying itself? And to what extent does that contribute to the overall supply? And then you say, okay, activity sale by. Based on most recent activity, are a specific asset class being sold more? There's a lot of caviars here. What does that say about the marketplace? And, there's so much metadata that we could go over, but that's pretty much just the core basics of how I view book spectating as a book game spectator, to kind of get a handle on finding value within this marketplace. Until next time.